Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at the Marvel Legends Nova from the Walmart exclusive Nemesis Wave, the Hasbro line. This is a figure that's set on the wall for quite a while just because the packaging for a lot of the Hasbro stuff is incredibly nice. Especially love these side panels that depict the character, just in different art styles and everything. As well as the big flash up here. I mean, if there's one thing that Hasbro really kind of excels at, it is in the presentation angle. The actual figures, people are a little bit dicier on. There's not as much love going on for the first launch of the Hasbro series. The relaunch, of course, does look to be quite a bit nicer. But yeah, hold on a second and I'll get Nova out of box. Nova comes with the right leg of Nemesis, or Holocaust. I believe he's also called Holocaust, or was called Holocaust at one point. Probably not as flattering on packages, which is why they likely don't refer to him as such. Supposedly, this shares the same body mold as the previously released Quicksilver, which I don't own. It's kind of in the itinerary, just never got around to it. But it's really not an attractive mold by any stretch of the imagination. And not only that, it's just the paints are really flat in this. I mean, there's just really no pop. It's got this really gross pretzelish gold. And then, it's just repeated throughout the outfit. It's just blends too much into the blues. I mean, if they'd gone with a slightly different color scheme, might have looked a bit nicer, or just given it like a metallic sheen or something. I know the character does kind of have that same bronzish gold for the normal outfit for some of the appearances, but he also has this much cooler yellow for other appearances. I mean, if anything, they just could have mixed up the tone a bit, made it a little bit more glittery or whatever. It would have probably looked a bit nicer, but in general, I'm not as fond of this mold just because it's not that muscular. I come from the 80s and 90s, all your superhero like super muscular and stuff, so the non-muscular superhero, kind of a turnoff. I mean, back in the 90s, even Spider-Man was pretty damn buff. If you remember the cartoon, which actually people did complain about, but I was cool with it. Articulation-wise, I guess it's a sort of fairly articulate figure. First off, we have the fingers all in a single joint here. They're not individually jointed, and although the body's heavily reminiscent of the first appearance of Spider-Man. Oh, I had my hand a second ago. Why did I pause the video just then? I don't know. I'm not pausing the video. You're seeing these raw takes. Yeah. But I mean, design-wise, you'll just notice a lot of sort of similar conventions in terms of the articulation stuff. Which is neat because, Hasbro was non-stop dumped on just for sort of lacking articulation, but, it's kind of not the case. I mean, the one big area is just the joint fingers versus individually articulated fingers. Other than that, these two characters do have basically the same amount of articulation. This being a Toy Biz mold, this being a Hasbro mold, or something that Hasbro released anyway. I'm not sure if it was originally one of their molds. But we have a single joint here at the wrist, point of rotation at the forearm, double pin joint at the elbow, rotating bicep, ball jointed shoulder. The shoulders themselves pop out, which is always kind of a neat feature. It doesn't look the most flattering though, just because it means that they have to cut really close in on the pecs. And you kind of have to push the area out a bit just to sort of make it look a little bit more natural. So I mean, this looks more like a normal chest than, it's squeezed in stuff like this. Although I guess that's good for grabbing poses. I don't know. The head doesn't have a wide range of motion. I mean, it's got the joint and everything that it could really go up, but because of the helmet, it won't, which is unfortunate considering this is a flyer. We have the ab crunch here, point of rotation at the waist. We have those kind of wonky hip joints here, where you have to sort of rotate the ball to get it going in the direction you want. And then the point of rotation of the thigh kind of makes up for that lack. Double pin joint here at the knee, pin joint here at the ankle. We have pivot, and then we have a toe joint. I absolutely hate these knees. I mean, the really blocky knees have always bugged me. Maybe that's a personal thing, plus, you know, again, look at these biceps, kind of puny. Look at my biceps, and I don't have much muscle in my biceps. I mean, it's not unreasonable to want a superheroes to be at least more muscular than you are. Granted, he's probably in much better shape than I would ever be. But I mean, all things considered, you know, it's not a really bad figure. It's just got so many little tiny gripes with it that, you know, a lot of people did sort of dislike, I recall. Personally, my feelings are a little bit more mixed. I mean, I think he's okay, but I mean, I just really wish they'd opted for a different paint and then just buffed him up a little bit. Again, superheroes need muscles, but articulation-wise, they definitely did do him justice, it looks like. But yeah, this has been a look at the Marvel Legends Nova from the Walmart exclusive Nemesis / Holocaust wave. Don't know if I'll ever finish assembling Holocaust, because I only have a few of the pieces, I believe, so... And most of the waves and stuff I'd kind of run out and pick up anyway. Although, actually, I did end up buying one of the Punishers loose, which is half the problem. Which means I'd still have to pick up Black Bolt, and then that really incredibly ugly beast that everybody ends up customizing just because the paint is so flat. But I'm rambling. I'm completely rambling, so I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you next time. Quick correction / addition. When I was looking at the articulation, I forgot to mention the fact that he has a point of rotation here at the calf as well, which, you know, is kind of a neat item.